Good morning. Hello. It is Tuesday. Of course, it's Tuesday, June 6th, and it is another Taco Tuesday here at WiLS. I am excited to be joined by several of our vendor partners here today to present some really cool stuff. So without further ado, I would like to turn things over to Donovan Harris, joining us from Nearpod to talk to us a little bit about Flocabulary. Donovan, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can take the reins, and then the show will be all yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jeff. I do appreciate that. Thanks for the introduction. This is my first Taco Tuesday, so I'm excited. I've communicated with Jeff, throughout, just partnering, with different schools in the state of Wisconsin. So finally feels good, get up close and personal, see him a little bit. And actually join you guys for Taco Tuesday. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to kind of intro myself. I come from Flocabulary and Nearpod. And so we are essentially an interactive program surfaced around the K-12 space. And if you are here, if you are present, I'm basically launching a live participation. So, if you have some time, I know it's a quick 15 minutes, but because we are an interactive program, I may ask you guys all to jump on as a participant. So if you can, feel free to type in join.nearpod.com, or what I can do, I'm putting the link in the chat on the Zoom, and you can actually join as well as a live participant. And you'll kind of be able to experience what it's like as a student when they join a lesson. So we're in a Nearpod lesson, but I'll be talking with you guys today about Flocabulary. So essentially here, this is our overall goal here is we want to engage students in ways that matter. And with our standards aligned hip hop videos and activities, we're able to increase vocabulary and improve comprehension as well. And so just to kind of intro myself, my name is Donovan Harris. I'm essentially school and district partnership manager for all of Wisconsin. I also cover Michigan as well. I was just in Detroit last week. They just had the Grand Prix. It was beautiful, beautiful city, but I'm currently from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I live here. I went to a school in Pennsylvania where I played Division I football. And now I kind of transitioned to be able to train kids and help kids just instill confidence with their skill level and just their athletic ability, helping them get to that next level, whether that's high school, college, and so forth and so on. And so I actually joined the Nearpod family back in March of 2021. And it's a vibrant, fun atmosphere where we just love to help out you teachers and the individuals that are truly having that impact and matter. And then I do occasionally like to play golf here and there, just occasionally. And so that's my email address down at the bottom. Feel free to jot it down, click on it, whatever you may need, but we can always keep in contact as well. So let me just kind of dive into Flocabulary a little bit. And this is essentially a poll question. I see here I don't have any participants in, but that's okay. But this is what it looks like on a Nearpod lesson. As a student, if you were to join this lesson, this is a poll question that's pushed out. And so if you select, what type of music you listen to, a student selects hip hop. As the teacher, you'll be able to see, the information that is calculated and the data that's being presented based on the students that are within the lesson. So, some of you may be asking, what is Flocabulary? Essentially, Flocabulary is a standard aligned digital learning platform with over 1,300 video-based lessons that include activities. It mainly supports vocabulary acquisition and comprehension skills across the K-12 subject area space. Now, through hip hop, we have found, through music and visual storytelling, Flocabulary's goal really is to work on that comprehension and the vocabulary acquisition. And through hip hop, we have found that you're able to get the most words per minute in hip hop, more than any other subject, more than any other genre. Hip hop is the genre where you're able to get more words per minute. At that point, that really brings that student-centered learning into the classroom and into the space. And so, nowadays we see that students may frequently walk around with headphones, throughout the hallways or to the bus or whatever it may be. We understand at Flocabulary that we have to be where the students are, right? And so with audio and with visual, that's, media has taken over and is the new age now. So we need to relate with the kids. And through Flocabulary, we realized that we have been able to do that, presenting, research-based content, standards-aligned content that will help bring out the best in every single student and then improve their literacy as well. So you can see here, the brain processes visual 60,000 times faster than text. And then the visual format of video just helps us develop that empathetic connections as well. Once again, connecting with that student, being where they are and resonating with that student that you are learning and cooperating with. And so this essentially is our model here within Flocabulary, and I'll dive into a lesson quick just so that you can see the certain areas that we're focusing on. And so once again, the vocabulary exposure to the increasing complexity. And so with our activities, students have to be able to highlight that text and be able to not only, refute that text back to this teacher, but be able to then create their own rhyme or rhythm as well. And so what I'll do is I'm going to just dive into a specific lesson. And so when you go into Flocabulary, you can actually see this is the dashboard. As a student and as a teacher, when you log in, you'll be able to break it down by lessons. And you'll have specific subject areas that you can refer to. So our common lessons here, math, science, social studies. And then you'll even have the life skills. So the SEL that we're really enforcing now, and even financial literacy, with the state pushing more financial literacy by a certain grade level, you have a certain requirement on financial literacy. And so we understand that, and we want to be able to have financial literacy lessons in this space as well. And then vocabulary. Once again, the biggest thing within Flocab is the vocabulary and that comprehension. And so we work all the way up to the SAT vocabulary words, but we also, starting at Peach, we do it by the color, is targeted for those elementary students. And so once again, Flocab is built for K through 12. And so we have vocab words that once again will prepare you for the SATs and then also prepare you for the elementary level as well. And so what I'll do is I would love to just show you guys a quick lesson, and I'll go into language arts just so you can kind of see the scope. And so what I'll do is fiction versus nonfiction. And so this is essentially, as a teacher, you're able to go into each lesson and you'll be able to see basically the overview of the lesson. And so now you have a highlight of, okay, what does this lesson entail? What will this lesson capture? And you'll see these are the vocab cards that are specific to the lesson. And then you also have handouts as well. And so, there are still some teachers and still individuals that love to use printouts as well. And so you can go in and actually print out these activities that are also here within your lesson. And maybe, you might have them printed out and it may be a homework assignment that's due. You're able to do that as well. So you can also print out lessons rather than using the visual context as well. It's something that you'll have, and then the standards alignment as well. So that's the great piece with that standards aligned content. It highlights basically that core area that is focused within the specific lesson here. And so what I would love to do is, just so you guys can kind of see, is I'll play the video only for a quick 2 minutes here, just so you can see what a video looks like and sounds like. And then I'll just give you a kind of a little brief synopsis, but I do want you guys to get a feel of what it looks like within a Flocabulary lesson here.
Welcome to the library. Go ahead and take a seat and get comfortable. I got a story for you. Once upon a time, there was an author who wrote lots of books and had much to offer. She wrote both types, fiction and nonfiction. You don't know the difference? Well, come on, listen. Fiction is made up, it's false, not true. It's make-believe, that means there is not proof. Now, it can sound true, it can even have facts, but it's from the imagination, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Now, nonfiction is based on facts and true things that have really happened. It's informative, full of information. Non-fiction can help you with your education. An author loved both. As you can tell, she wrote a non-fiction book.
So just so you can kind of, I played a quick 45 seconds, 50 seconds there of what the video entails. And so teachers usually like to play it one time through. And for differentiation purposes, you can include a slower or slow. But the key here is you can add a discuss mode. And so the discuss mode is going to actually prompt questions as the video is going along. And so once it gets to this specific part, you'll see these yellow dots here, and it's going to prompt a question then for that student to process, basically and regurgitate.
It can sound true, it can even have facts, but it's from the imagination. We'll leave it at that.
And so at this point, now you can see, as I was mentioning, with that discuss mode, it's prompting that question. And so based on the information, from that first 30 seconds, what did you learn essentially that you can, provide answers to this text and go back. And so we have, all of our activities within this lesson here. And so you have vocab cards as well, where students can actually kind of write their own definition, how they remember it. And then you can also draw it as well. And so based on a fact, the student can remember it based on how they may remember it. So draw an image or use specific colors based on, this specific definition. Once again, it may mean something. Everybody's different. How we process information is different. Some people are visual, some are audio, some have to write it out, whatever it may be. Each student is different, so they may remember the word differently, which I think is really interesting. And it gives them an opportunity to go in and customize it to their own learning and how it suits them. And so this is the vocab game. It's quick. It's essentially like a race to the finish. You want to get to the end based on the questions that are presented. I'll turn off that sound. And so basically, as you get questions right, it's going to build a beat. And so I'll turn this beat on, drag the right word to that means the opposite of nonfiction, fiction. And you can see once it starts to get here, it adds the drums. And like I said, it's a race to the ultimate end. The kids, they love to be in class and they're like, I want to get to the finish because I want to see what the full beat sounds like. So that ultimately is our vocab game. And we have the Break It Down, which is a very new, brand new version essentially of, highlighting the text within the video and going back and providing an example from the story that was told. So which book is most likely to be nonfiction? Say the student selects The Beauty and the Beast. Now they have to go back into this video and highlight the text where they can prove, okay, this is where, specifically, this is, you found a clip now from that fictional story that provided, an example, provided details on your answer. So they're not just choosing a video. They're not just choosing an answer. They have to go back in and provide an example as well to make sure that they fully understand it. So I know I have 1 minute coming up here. Essentially, these are all the activities within a lesson. You can see that this is all automatically graded, except the lyric lab, which is essentially students are creating their own rhyme and rhythm. So this is whether it's small groups, independent homework, or full classroom, students can go in and create their own rhyme and rhythm with the lyric lab based on the vocab words that were given in the lesson. And so now you got to reuse those vocab words, go back in and now kind of create your own rhyme and rhythm. And as we have fun competitions, students can submit them and we'll actually make video lessons based around the lyric lab that they created. So I know that's time's up here. Once again, and thank you for joining, Jeff. I appreciate that. But essentially, this is essentially a K through 12 program, interactive program with over 1,300 lessons that are focused around video and audio, but more so comprehension and that vocabulary acquisition. And so we do have an individual light program as an individual teacher. If you want to join, it is $11.50 per month. And then we also have the school plan, which is that Flocabulary Plus, which entails a full school or even a district that you have access to. So I want to thank you guys. This was my first Taco Tuesday. I appreciate it. I'll be sticking around. There's my email address as well. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. But thank you so much for the time. I do appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing what's next. Thank you guys.
Donovan, thank you so much for joining us today. I think vocabulary is just like such a unique product. I think it's just an amazing approach to teaching that content. So I'm so excited to be able to share it with our members today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. So I'm going to take us back briefly to our start screen just to set us up for our next presenter. All right. So joining us today for our next today for Taco Tuesday is a longtime vendor partner Scholastic, and I believe we have Tina and Tracy from Scholastic joining us today. You ready to take over?
I sure am, Jeff.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then show's all yours.
Yay! Welcome back to Taco Tuesday. I feel like an old pro at this. Can you see my Scholastic Education Solutions screen?
We're not seeing your
No.
screen yet.
No,
All right.
we just see you, Tina.
It's a horrible thing to see. All right.
No, never, never, never.
Let's get sound just in case. How about
There you go.
yay?
Yeah,
Taco Tuesday. I swear one of these times, Jeff, I'm gonna have like a sombrero on and I'm gonna live it up. We're gonna totally embrace this Taco Tuesday. So I'm with Scholastic. We have been longtime partners with WiLS, and definitely have a long history and some great offerings for WiLS customers. And we'll go through all of the discounts that you are eligible to get with your WiLS membership. So I'm going to spend about 15 minutes walking you through everything you need to know about BookFlix and why it's such an amazing tool for every pre-K through third grade classroom. Just a quick introduction. My name is Tina Roller. I am here to assist you with BookFlix, TrueFlix, not FreedomFlix anymore, ScienceFlix, Scholastic Go, Teachables, as well as print materials that you get a discount for being a WiLS member. We're going to walk through BookFlix, the advantages, the impact of reading and accessibility for young readers, talk about implementation support, and also what's new and coming up for the 23-24 school year. So we all know that young readers often show a strong preference for fiction or nonfiction books, but learning to comprehend both is vital to their success as students and as readers. With BookFlix, you can help every learner discover the joy and the value of fiction and nonfiction while improving their comprehension of both. Let me show you a little bit more about how we can do that with BookFlix. BookFlix is a digital literacy platform that pairs video storybooks with thematically related ebooks from Scholastic. Video storybooks bring classic fiction stories to life with celebrity narrators and colorful animation. Nonfiction ebooks expand on the story, excuse me, and provide a natural springboard into deeper learning. And when students are done reading, they can put their knowledge to the test with activities that build comprehension, vocabulary, and other critical skills. By combining fiction videos with nonfiction in one program, BookFlix builds engagement, reading skills, and real world knowledge all at the same time. BookFlix is also super flexible, and it easily fits into any part of the school day. It's perfect for whole class, small group, independent reading. It also supports Spanish language students, with select pairs available in both English and Spanish. And with our 24/7 access on any device, it's ideal for family engagement, summer learning, extended day programs, and hybrid learning. Speaking of educators, BookFlix provides all of your educators with a wealth of materials to strengthen and hone essential reading skills. Digital tools and lesson plans give students the opportunity to apply and strengthen comprehension strategies like making predictions, summarizing, sequencing, and so much more. The read aloud in BookFlix are perhaps leading to the most powerful skill building component of BookFlix, which is read aloud. And while we're not here to replace the teacher-led read aloud, BookFlix can enhance reading aloud in ways a traditional book simply can't. As our professional narrators model fluent reading, words on the screen are highlighted, reinforcing spelling and punctuation. And the movement of our video storybooks improves students' understanding even more thanks to a closer match between verbal and nonverbal information. We'll dive into that more in a bit, but before I do, I just want to talk quickly about the value of the read aloud itself. Research shows that listening to others reading aloud helps build a foundation for literacy and an appreciation for how stories are written. In fact, read alouds have the power to increase reading accuracy by 52% and increase recall by 40%. Research shows that read alouds expand vocabulary, increase reading speed, and allow students to comprehend 2 grade levels above their reading level. Also, because we have factored in different types of learners, BookFlix read alouds not only cater to visual learners, but auditory learners as well. Research has additionally shown that 27% of K through 12 population are auditory learners, and 85% of what we learn by listening. And who better to model fluent reading than the amazing voices featured in BookFlix? Your students will hear stories read aloud by Meryl Streep, James Earl Jones, Stanley Tucci. My favorite is still Click Clack Moo Cows That Type, narrated by Randy Travis. Who better to do a cow book? Every time you log into BookFlix, it's like inviting a celebrity guest to read to your class. As I mentioned before, BookFlix technology enhanced books can improve children's comprehension and understanding even more than traditional books because of the closer match between nonverbal and verbal information, especially when it comes to movement and animation. Each frame of our video storybooks illustrates the oral narration in a linear manner than pictures lacking movement. And it has been proven that higher correspondence between words and pictures leads to deeper comprehension. All of these unique BookFlix features work together to encourage students to read more each and every day. Studies show that a student who reads 1 minute a day will be exposed to 8,000 words per year and score in the 10th percentile on standardized tests. A student who reads 5 minutes a day will be exposed to 282,000 words per year and score in the 50th percentile on standardized tests. And a student who reads 20 minutes a day will be exposed to 1.8 million words per year and score in the 90th percentile on standardized tests. In order to bring those benefits to as many children as possible, BookFlix strives to offer a strong foundation in English for children whose primary language is Spanish. Children who are learning English as a second language are more likely to become readers and writers of English when they are already familiar with the vocabulary and concepts in their primary language. With many fiction and nonfiction pairs, I think this year we're going to be up to 40. Children build essential reading skills in their first language. These pairs are also ideal for children in dual language immersion classrooms. BookFlix includes more educator resources, such as downloadable family letters, student engagement worksheets, and more to encourage use in school and at home. Plus, our educator resources section includes lesson plans with suggested teaching activities that have been created specifically for each fiction and nonfiction pair. Our goal is to provide families with the support that they need to create a space for learning and literacy at home. With 24/7 access on any device, including a smartphone, BookFlix brings the joy of fiction and nonfiction reading absolutely anywhere, including an ER room, which I had to do with my granddaughter. So as a WiLS member, you get discounts on our Flix suite of programs. So this includes BookFlix, TrueFlix, ScienceFlix. You also get discounts on Scholastic Go, Watch and Learn Library, and Teachables. For print materials, all your hardcover books are 40% off the list price, while your reinforced library bound titles you can get at a discount of 32% with your WiLS membership. That brings us to the end of our BookFlix overview. If anybody has any questions or would like a demo of the program or a complimentary subscription, please let me know. Hit the wrong button. My name again is Tina Roller, and I'm here with Tracy Schultz, and we are happy to answer any questions or get you any complimentary subscriptions of any of our digital programs.
Nina, thank you so much. Great presentation as always. I haven't seen any questions come into chat or the other communication methods yet so far here, but as usual, if we get any questions or have any communication from members, we will be delighted to put them in touch with you. So anyone watching this recording, please do feel free to reach out to Tina or to us here at WiLS as usual. All right. Well, I think that will bring us to our next presenter. I'm just going to quickly share my screen one more time just to get us set up for our last presentation for today. I think that should be it. Okay, great. So joining us for our third and today final presentation here at Taco Tuesday is Sarah, our new, I think still I'd say new, right? New rep, a friend over at Springshare. Sarah, are you ready to take the reins?
I am all set.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and it'll be all yours.
Thank you. Let's see. All right, and hopefully you are seeing my somewhat vibrantly colored PowerPoint. Sounds great. So good morning, everyone, or almost afternoon, I guess. My name is Sarah Probst, and I'm the Consortium Sales Manager for Springshare. Like many of my colleagues here, I myself am a librarian, and prior to joining the company, I worked for several library consortia here on the East Coast where I'm located. My primary purpose is to support our relationships with organizations like WiLS and their members. So feel free to jot down my email address and reach out at any time. I'm here to support you. I also want to thank Jeff Brunner and the whole WiLS cooperative purchasing team for inviting me, and to y'all for being here this morning, whether that's in real time now or whether you're watching the recording later on. So in our short time together today, I'm going to talk about some of the tools we offer besides the ubiquitous and lovely LibGuides, and then also about some of the new things that we've been working on that are coming up just in time for ALA. All right, so if you're not familiar with Springshare, we create hosted software for libraries. Our tools focus on solving everyday problems that librarians encounter, and that's from creating staff schedules to sharing events and tracking attendance at those events to analyzing e-resource statistics and a whole lot of other things in between. Our approach is librarian-centric. Not only do we provide tools that are designed by and for librarians, we constantly improve our tools by listening to client feedback. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how that feedback sets our priorities and translates to new features and updates just a little bit towards the end of the presentation here. So we recognize the incredible ways that library consortia impact their communities and are really happy to be supporting the work that they do. And again, personally, for me coming from consortia, I'm really happy to be supporting the consortia community. Now, as WiLS members, y'all benefit from our partnership by receiving special discounts on new purchasing, having access to free dedicated 30-day trials, and of course, the centralized billing services that WiLS provides to y'all. If at any point you want to quote for Springshare products or you want to set up a trial, of course, please contact your WiLS cooperative purchasing team, and they'll get in touch with me. We'll take care of everything from there. So now let's go ahead and talk briefly about the discounted resources that y'all have access to through WiLS. So if you are familiar with Springshare, or if you don't think you're familiar with Springshare, you still might be familiar with LibGuides. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that since that is our flagship product and there is a wonderful reason for that. But LibGuides and LibGuides CMS, its upgraded big brother, are two of the products that you do receive discounts on through WiLS. Some of the other really great products that we have available for you are things like LibWizard. This is our forms, surveys, tutorials, and quizzes tool. It's super powerful and flexible, and it works for all types of libraries. And really, our products are for all types of libraries. But LibWizard is great for both external purposes and internal projects too. It's something that we use a lot of here in-house, and I'm a huge fan. A little bit biased, but a huge fan. Now, if you're looking for something that can handle events management, space reservation, librarian and staff appointment scheduling, and library hours management, you may not realize it, but you're actually looking for LibCal. LibCal also has two add-on modules that make it do just that much more, and these are the Lending Hub and LibCal Mapping. The Lending Hub is perfect for creating a library of things. And I mean, we have folks lending everything from sewing machines to Ryobi power washers. And I'm not joking about that Ryobi power washer. I wish that one was closer to me. LibCal Mapping, on the other hand, makes digital wayfinding within your library a beautiful and really easy patron experience. You create digital maps on your website that are interactive, clickable. They work beautiful, whether you're on a desktop or you're on mobile. Now, communicating with your patrons and tracking those communications is probably a significant part of your day for a lot of folks. LibAnswers is our total communications platform. It includes robust ticketing functionality, live chat, an FAQ searchable knowledge base, and automated chatbot. I do want to pause and say our chatbot is a rules-based chatbot and is not AI. It also includes reference analytics and quality of service metrics for all of your interactions. LibAnswers can bring emails, texts, questions received via social media, and chat transcripts all into one place for really easy monitoring. Now, also speaking of things that can take up a whole lot of your day, if you happen to be one of those lucky folks whose job it is to track statistics, whether they be e-resources or otherwise, LibInsight might be of interest to you. With LibInsight, you can collect, manage, analyze, and share statistics to stakeholders all in one platform. So ILS statistics, no problem. We can import those. Gate counts, no worries. We've got stuff for that too. And sushi harvests, no worries. We've got that covered. LibStaffer helps libraries easily create schedules for staff, student workers, volunteers, and any mix of those things. This is a great tool for managing staffing across multiple service points or across multiple branches, and improving internal communication. As one of my colleagues likes to say, we eat our own cooking here. LibStaffer is something we use to manage vacation days, coverage, things like that, and it's really, truly a lifesaver. Now, last in our lineup here, but certainly not least, is LibConnect. LibConnect is a feature-rich customer relationship management platform and integrated email marketing tool in one. I myself am a huge fan of this tool. I use it regularly in my work communicating to consortia. The email marketing feature is so nice and so slick. It has a lot of really beautiful integrated features, including a huge catalog of CC0 images that you can choose from and not have to go out and search elsewhere. It's really quite nice. Now, let's take a look at what else is going on new here at Springshare. Our founder and CEO, who refers to himself as the Chief Springy, is always looking at how we can improve our tools for users. So he often signs off with the title of this slide, which is Onwards and Upwards, as a reminder of that. These three projects were inspired by feedback from the Springshare community, which, as I mentioned earlier, is something that we take really seriously. So, for instance, the LibGuides A to Z list updates have been something that's been in the works for quite some time, and we're really, really thrilled about them, and we think a lot of people are too. The items that you see listed here are features that have all been requested by community members over the years, and we'll be rolling them out in our June update just in time for ALA. The LibCal tablet UI is still in development, but is going to allow users to create a tablet view of LibCal that will display beautifully on any tablet. With this update, libraries will be able to set out a tablet or a couple tablets as a kind of self-service kiosk for patrons to check in and out of spaces, as well as reserved spaces. The LibWizard interactive tutorial update is also currently in development and should launch a little later on this fall. This functionality is going to be great for improving the level of interaction libraries can embed in our tutorials, ensuring that your patrons or staff, if you use your tutorials internally, really get the most out of that experience. I'm really excited for all of these, probably the A to Z list the most, but also the interactive tutorials. Again, that's something that we use for our own internal training, and I'm really interested to see how that looks when they roll that out. Now, I mentioned ALA a couple times. If y'all are going to ALA in Chicago, please stop by and visit us. We are booth number 1525, and we will have a bunch of folks there to talk about the new things that we're rolling out, as well as anything else you want to talk about. We're just generally chatty, friendly folks, and we'll be happy to see you. Now, I did want to leave plenty of time, so that is all that I have for you today, but I am happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, feel free to get in contact with me. My email is sprobst, that's S-P-R-O-B as in barcode, S-T at springshare.com. And yeah, I'm here for any questions.
Sarah, thanks so much. It's always great to see a reminder of all the fantastic tools available to our members via the Springshare platform. There's always, I'm virtually every time we talk, I'm surprised at something else like, oh, I didn't know it could do that, or oh, I never thought of using it in that way. So, and then even today, I'm like, well, yeah, of course they would use their own tools in-house to manage, vacation time and stuff. Yeah, that's great. So thank you so much for the overview today. I haven't seen any questions come in yet, but I will renew my suggestion that I've given to the other presenters. If we hear anything, we will of course be in touch with you. If members reach out to us. But if you're watching this live or recording, you think of something later that you want to contact about, please feel free to reach out to WiLS, feel free to reach out to Sarah or the staff there at Springshare directly. I think that brings us to the end of our session today. So I will say thank you, an additional thank you to all of our presenters, folks from Flocabulary, from Scholastic, from Springshare. Thank you all for being with us here today. We are delighted to continue to do Taco Tuesdays and to help highlight the resources and products that our great vendors have to offer for our members. For those watching, we have just one more Taco Tuesday for this I don't even know the right word, semester, I guess, although it's not really a semester, but we're kind of blocking our Taco Tuesdays in half-year chunks. So we've got one more on June 20th, where we set up a new set to start all over again in July. So vendors, I know some of our vendor partners watch this too. Keep an eye out for contact from me to sign up for your next slot in our July to December segment. Members, thanks so much for watching and for joining us, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, all.